Hello, 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 everybody. It's Mary with Stamps-N-Lingers, and it is just a smidge after 7 on Saturday. I'm sorry about that. I was having a little technical difficulty. Had to remind my internet that it was supposed to give me all of the up and down speeds. So I had to do a quick, turns out if you do a speed test, it's like Comcast goes, oh, you actually wanted the internet speed that you wanted. Who knew? So anyway, I am glad that you're here, for those of you who are, and I see 7 folks sitting out there, so thank you so much for spending part of your weekend with me. So here is the card I gave you the sneak peek of. I feel pretty confident that you had a pretty good idea of what we were going to play with today. It is the Leaves of Holly bundle with the Holly Berry dies and the Boughs of Holly beautiful DSP, which is truly one of my favorites. It's just gorgeous. Hi, Rosie. Hi, Shirley. Hi, Marva. Hi, Carol. Appreciate you guys coming. Hello, Faith. And yes, this is a Mary card. And yes, I have done a bunch of pre-cutting for you so that you don't have to watch me cut and cut and cut and cut and cut and cut and cut. All right. Hey, Marilee. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. All of this will be on my blog, Tamale, so you won't even have to take notes. You can just, you know, sit there and enjoy, or sit there and go, my gosh, what is she doing? Okay, doke. So we're going to start. Now, my base DSP is from the Celebrate Everything. Remember, that is the host set in the mini catalog. So with an $18 purchase, or $180 purchase, you can get this for free. Host sets have to be purchased using Stampin' Rewards, which is what you get when either a workshop or an individual order goes up to and then over $150 in retail. This one needs $18 in Stampin' Rewards, and so it takes a $180 order. But it's amazing. It's a huge set. You might recognize this from the other day. So I got Halloween, and I'm making it Christmas on the other side. Now, it looks like it's actually white and crushed curry, but my brain saw very vanilla, so I decided to mix very vanilla and white on this card, which is kind of like wearing, you know, white after Labor Day or Memorial Day or whichever day you're not supposed to wear white after. But I did it anyway. I did it because I'm a rebel. Yes, I am. So what I'm going to do is it's a full-size piece, which means it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I am going to raise that light up because I see a little bit of darkness. I'm going to put that on the front. So it's the exact same size as the card front. Now, when you do this, no matter how good a job you have done measuring and cutting, and you know my job would be amazing because, you know, hello. Yes, it is beautiful. Sandy, I'm glad you were able to get on. Thank you so much. Hi, Lenny. Hi, Jean. Appreciate you coming. No matter how carefully you cut and measure and all of that, you're likely to get a little bit of, you know, underlap and overlap. So it helps if your card base is a similar color to the DSP, and it makes it disappear just a little bit. But don't be surprised if you have to pull your trimmer out when you're doing a card front like this, and it's not a big deal at all. Just place it in there and place the left side at the size of your card front. So here you go. I've put the left side of the card base at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to trim off that extra little bit. And then once I have a straight side, I will put the fold at 5 1/2 because that's the other size, right? And just give that a little trim like that. And there we go. Perfect. It's almost as if it was never the wrong size. All right. Then do you guys have the deckled rectangles? The deckled rectangles are amazing and wonderful. I took the largest of the deckled rectangles and cut out a piece of the Leaves of Holly or Boughs of Holly DSP. And we're going to adhere that with liquid glue as well. We do have a lot of layers, so the fact that I have yet to use a dimensional should not frighten you. I will use them on this card, I promise. All right, so we're just going to center that in the middle and make sure it's actually, you know, centered and straight-ish. Okay, so now it's time for some layering. Let's look at what we have, shall we? In our handy jar of die cuts, again, let me put that on. I have, and I will show you from whence they came. Now, this is our label die cut, and it's got a very cool holly leaf. When you cut the holly out, you can see it has, it's got a lot of negative space in it, which is beautiful. And you can absolutely use it just like that, or you can use this oddly shaped die, which I didn't even know what it was going to do until I looked at it and I was like, oh yeah, And so what I did is I took another piece of the DSP, the Boughs of Holly DSP, that is all Mossy Meadow and Old Olive and some other colors all mixed in, and I cut it out, and what it does is it goes right behind there like so, so you can fill in your holly leaf. So let's go ahead, we'll put that on first, and then I'll show you the rest of what I've cut out. And I'm just going to use some little dabs of liquid glue, not very many, not very much. Nowhere's going to get a giant glob. See, I said that to myself as if I could keep myself from giant globbing it. So that was why I did that. It wasn't because I thought you guys thought I should put a giant glob on. No, it was so I would remember, Mary, do not giant glob it. Giant globs of liquid glue can get out of hand really fast. So you can see how beautifully that does. You still have the nice bright white and the nice bright white here, but that's now fully filled in. If they hadn't made that die, you'd have to adhere it to a piece of DSP and then cut all around there, and that would be like, oh my God. Even I, a fussy cutting lover, would not like that. Hey, Amy. Hi, Terry. Yes, I did get it worked out. I schooled them so they knew they had to actually give me my internet because, you know. Okay. Now, on some very vanilla, I used the two berry dies, and you have a fill die, or sorry, these are stamps. I know because they're in stamp cases. You have a fill stamp and you have a highlight or detail stamp. And what I did for these is I did the fill in real red and the detailed in cherry cobbler. All right, and then I cut them with their die. And this was the correct use of the word die. All right. Now, there are two holly leaves in the set that cut out detailed holly leaves, like so. And again, I went back to that same exact DSP pattern. Here, let me show you which pattern that is real quick so you will know. It's this one right here in the Boughs of Holly. It's the one that has the forest on the back. So I've used those to cut out two of the holly leaves, one of each size. And again, that was the one that went behind the sentiment. Okay, so there's that. And then, because I am mixing and matching colors, greens, because why not? Have you ever seen a greenery that it was all one color? I mean, except at, you know, Joann's in the foliage section where it's made out of plastic. I took some Evening Evergreen Glimmer from the Glimmer 12 by 12 set, and I cut out 3 of these little guys, little pine boughs, and they are going to be part of our layering. And then I used the next to largest Stylish Shapes die circle to cut out the very vanilla / white shimmery from the same Glimmer 12 by 12. Okay, so that's what I've got. And I'm also going to be using 2 of one of my very favorite, this is really truly one of my very favorite embellishments. These are the wonderful snowflakes. They're so thin and so lacy and so pretty that you can just put them everywhere, and they don't add even an iota of weight or thickness or anything unhappy. Okay, so there we go. These are all of our pieces and parts. Hi, Holly. Hello, Beverly. Hello, Polly. Appreciate you guys coming. All right, so I've got those, and we'll throw that away in a fit of tidiness, which we all know is it's just for show. It's totally just for show. Let's go ahead and stamp our sentiment, shall we? This is from Leaves of Holly. And I am using Merry Christmas. It seemed like the thing to do. Or Christmas Wishes, sorry. And Evening Evergreen. So I am pulling the Evening Evergreen from the Glimmer into the card again. And we'll go ahead and stamp that. I should probably make it right side up because it matters. It does. We'll put that on straight and give it a little a little clackaroo right there. And just hold it down without rocking it. Don't rock it. Trust me. Ask me why. I know to not do that. Okay. There. Now we can put that away. And now let's start building. Let's do the fun stuff. Let's build us a collage. And I'll pull my card front. So when I do like this is one of the few times I'll actually build on the card base. Usually I would have the card front separately so that I don't potentially ruin my card base, but I'm gonna hang it out here. Hello, Tina from Warmish, Indiana. You guys, today was in quotes, a perfect fall day in Georgia. It was absolutely gorgeous. It's that time of year where it's cool in the house and perfect outside. Like you want to have a little bit of a long sleeve on in the house, but as soon as you go outside, you're like, oh yeah, this is so perfect. It was just beautiful. Okay, so I'm just using a little bit of liquid glue in the center of my snowflakes, and I'm putting them around like this. Now, obviously, the first time I did this, I had all of my pieces and parts cut out, and I moved everything around, and I said, no, that's not it. And then I moved some stuff around. I said, no, that's not it. And then I moved some stuff around, and I said, aha, there it is. And I took a picture with my phone, and then I put my collage back together, right? Okay, so next up, I'm going to put the glimmer paper. Don't get hurried in the design process, okay? You have time. Figure out where it makes your brain happy, and you say, aha. I call it the aha moment. You know why? Because I say, aha. There you go. I know you probably knew that. Okay, so there goes our glimmer circle. And now I'm going to use my larger leaf. And again, I'm keeping my glue down towards the bottom and not using a whole heck of a lot. And I like it right here. Now here's one little trick. And this is a thing that could happen to you. If you are accustomed, like I am, to building your card front separate from your card base, your brain sees that you could, if this was a card front, I would know that I could go past the edges, right? Because it would go on the card base. But in fact, this is the whole thing. So if you extend past the edges of this, you're going to impinge on your envelope, and that's not going to be so great. Okay? All right. Ooh, hot in Northern California yet. I'm sorry. You guys have had a year. And, well, I guess you're still having a year because it isn't over yet. I don't miss Northern California. I lived at Travis for 3 years, and it was pretty. But I can remember I was so cold there sometimes that it boggled my brain. I was so cold. Now look, I just realized that this has slipped because I wiggled it when I shouldn't have. Don't wiggle your dies. Do not wiggle your dies, okay? All right, so we've got our glue on. We're just going to put it down here like this. And again, be sure you don't go past the edge of your card base. You really don't want to do that. And then these little guys are going to kind of cluster up a little bit. So we'll lay them out and see what looks good here. And we're going to cluster them with these Evening Evergreen die-cut Boughs. I love these little berry dudes. Aren't they so cute? And because it's photopolymer, it just stamps so easy and pretty. We'll start with this and see if we like how that turns out when we get it all layered up. And then this is going to go right over the top like so. Okay, so I know I want this pulled out because you can't even see it. Hello. Hello, berries. Are you in there, berries? Here we go. Pull him out. Pull this out a little bit. Again, you don't want this sentiment going past the other side, this side over here. So, move it around. All right, there we go. The girls are very happy. We went and bought 4 bags of feed. We figured we better get feed, plenty of it, before 1, they didn't have any more, or 2, it went up to $30 a bag or something. We were talking with the farrier yesterday or the day before, and I said I missed Bo, my big horse, a lot, but I wasn't really sorry to not have his feed bill because he was getting a lot of food. The girls don't get a lot of food. They don't need it. They would tell you otherwise, obviously. But it's a lot cheaper to feed them than it was to feed the Bowman. The Bowmeister was getting poured some food, being between his age and his that just went. Did you see that jump out of my hands? It was crazy. It just went jumping right out of my hands. He took a lot of food. He was not an easy keeper. My girls are easy keepers. All right, and I'm going to put these on in just a second. So let's get this little guy put on. All right. I love those little pine boughs made with the glimmer paper, don't you? Aren't they so pretty? Oh, you can see I made a mistake on that side. Isn't that nice that we have two sides of cardstock? Mm-hmm. Yeah, on that one, I kind of screwed up and I stamped the fill, the more solid image in Cherry Cobbler. It didn't work good, I'm just saying. It was really hard to get the lighter real red to make a definition of some shadowing and depth on there. Okay, so I'm going to turn this one pretty good, mostly because I don't want it to extend past the edge of that card base, but I want it to go all the way to it like that. Okay, and that's pretty much the collage portion of our agenda. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this little guy over. And we're going to put some dimensionales on here. And it moved again. Now, darn you. Darn you. No, it didn't. My brain saw movement and it didn't move. Y'all, I'm getting goofy. I don't know. I'm just starting to get goofy. Yep. Starting to worry me. Just saying. One of these days I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be now knit 1, purl 2. And you're going to be like, wait, what? And then I'm going to be like, wait, what? I don't even know how to knit. How can I knit 1, purl 2? But Mary, you just said it. I'm telling you, I'm getting goofy. Alrighty, here we go. Some dimensionales. And then we'll pull this back. And we're going to want to go right up to the edge there, because that's kind of what we did. And then you want it kind of straight, and you can tell it's right up against the edge and it's straight. So there we go. Oh, that's so pretty. Hey, Karen, appreciate you joining. Hope you had a good walk. I'm going to take some festive pearls, a couple of 3 or 4 here. Well, 3, not 4. Could be 5, but it won't be 3. Or it won't be 4. I'm going to put a couple of the Cherry Cobbler ones here. And then I'll pull out some of the gold, because the Cherry Cobbler to me would just disappear on here. So I decided to go with gold. A couple there. And I'm going to end up with a total of 3. Yep, I will take that. Yes, Alex, we'll take finished card front for 1,000. Now, on the inside, I'm going to take a very vanilla panel. And I'm going to take this. This is kind of the smaller of the... There's 2 kinds of leaves. You have the detailed leaves and the fill leaves. I'm not using the fill at all. And I'm using the smaller of the detailed leaves. And I'm going to stamp those in Mossy Meadow, because I'm going to use a sentiment in Evening Evergreen. I got to tell you, it's kind of an achievement for me to be able to mix things like Mossy Meadow and Evening Evergreen. To me, it was, I mean, it's the same kind of rogue rebellion thing as using white and very vanilla on the card. It just, a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have even ever done it, ever. But now I'm brave that way. Yeah. Okay, so I've got From Our Home to Yours. You could also use To Friends Near and Far, whichever you liked. I mean, you can use whatever you want. You don't even have to use the sentiments from this set if you didn't want to. But why wouldn't you? Because they're so cute and so pretty. Okay. And now we'll put Evening Evergreen away. Thanks, Debbie. And I'm going to take Mossy Meadow. We're going to stamp it in the corners. And I'm going to stamp once. And then I would stamp again without re-inking. But when I do this and I have, and I'm moving it around, so I don't have the whole, let me see how to say this. I don't have the whole stamp on the panel. Okay, so part of this image stamped and part of it did not. So that I don't have to worry about where might be the wrong color shade. Because look, when you stamp this again, if I had this up into my panel, it would look weird, right? So when I'm doing this, I'll stamp once, and instead of stamping again without re-inking, I'll stamp off and then stamp. Did that make sense? If that didn't make sense, somebody raise their hand or say, Mary, you're crazy and that didn't even make sense. So I'm going to stamp once, re-ink, stamp off, and stamp again. Okay? And while I have this out, I will do my envelope in the same manner. In the same manner. Thank you, Faith. I don't know why I did that, so we'll just stamp. We'll do the stamped off one first. Gosh, I'm just crazy that way. All right, and then we'll do like that. Perfect. I'll take it. I'll take it, Batman. Don't know where Batman came from. I'm not even a Batman fan anymore. Used to watch Batman when I was little. We'll go ahead and put this on here and then put our card together and we'll be done, Skay. I used to do it back when they had, remember when the cartoon things would come out? Bam! Pow! Kaboom! Like that. That's how old I am. Yeah. Back when Adam West was Batman. And then some other guy was Robin. I don't know who it was. I can't remember who it was. Hey, Jeanette from Virginia. Appreciate you coming on. And we'll go ahead and trim this off. Aren't those beautiful? Do y'all love poinsettias? I love them. I think they're so pretty. Just keep them away from your kitties. They really shouldn't eat that, nor should your dogs. I think kitties are way more likely to take a snack roll. But I understand that they are toxic, so I always kept them away from my kitties when I had kitties and poinsettias at the same time. Okay, so there's our envelope. Let's assemble our card. I saw a smudge of green, so I'm not sure where that came from. Right, Joanne? We remember all those cartoon bubbles. And the current generation thinks they've got the market on special effects. We could mix cartoons and human peoples all at the same time. Hello. And we also had that story about a lady. You remember her. Then that one day when that man met that woman, they knew it was much more than a hunch. All right, here we go. Put this on the inside of our card. Yeah, I had a little bit of a departure from reality there for a second. Sorry. Sorry, Charlie. Alrighty. And I'm going to put one more festive pearl in here because I can. And I'm using the cherry cobbler. And that, as they say somewhere in some industry, is that. So, beautiful, beautiful set. When you're getting ready to do your Christmas cards, is this a lot of die cutting? Yeah. You probably want to send this to your mom or your favorite sister. Maybe this isn't the one you make 20 of and send out, but it's certainly worth making one of and sending it to a really special someone. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you are getting ready to start the Christmas card rush. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Thank you so much for spending part of it with me. All right, we'll see ya. Thanks.